Alright, guys. It is Wednesday, July 12th, 2023 at 10:47 a.m. Alright, let's start. We got a Bible verse, dailyverses.net verse of the day. It says, "Who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom." James 3:13. Alright, guys, let's start. We have a weather video. This is what this video is about. It's about weather and the things happening right now in the weather. Let's take a look right now. National Hurricane Center. We have in the Atlantic a disturbance 1 with 40% chance cyclone formation in 48 hours. And then we have in the Eastern Pacific, we have Calvin. Tropical Storm Calvin. Advisory number 4, maximum sustained winds of 45 knots or 50 miles an hour. Minimal central pressure of 1002 millibars, located at 12.7 north and 112.2 west. Movement west at 14 knots or 16 miles an hour. Let's take a look at the 7-day graphical weather outlook for Calvin. And click on Calvin. Alright, so Calvin is a storm right now, but it will turn into a hurricane eventually and travel to the west, northwest, and it will turn eventually into a storm. So it's going to be a hurricane through Thursday, all the way up to Sunday, but then by Monday it will be a storm again, so it's going to weaken again. Alright, it is 50 mile an hour sustained winds right now, and it is headed out into the Pacific, so it won't really be interfering with land, hopefully. If it does interfere with land, it could possibly be Hawaii, but right now it just looks like it's going out into the sea, thankfully, so it won't be affecting Mexico or California or any of that, but it will be going westward. Alright, guys, let's go back to what is happening in the Atlantic. Alright, in the Atlantic, we have disturbance 1 with 40% chance of cyclone formation. Let's take a look at the spaghetti models. These are the possible paths spun up by computers, pretty much telling you what the possible path could be. It could wander off close to these islands here, but we don't know yet if it will. It's just basically making its way across the Atlantic towards the east. Let's take a look at other graphs here. It could be Invest 94L model intensity guidance. It could develop into tropical storm strength, as you see here by a lot of the models showing that it could develop into tropical storm strength, but it could also still be below tropical storm strength. We don't know yet. We're just keeping an eye on it, but it is developing in the Atlantic. If it does get a name, it could be Dawn, so let's pray that it weakens and it doesn't affect those islands. Alright, these are the spaghetti models for it, the track guidance that they have currently right now. Alright, so that's what it's doing. Let's take a look next into right now the Gulf and the Caribbean and parts of the Atlantic. It is water temperatures are very, very warm below Florida and into parts of the Gulf and into the Atlantic. That means that if a storm develops, it has enough fuel to create a storm, because the warmer waters are what creates like a jet fuel. It creates the energy needed to create a storm or a hurricane. So please pray that no storms happen, but the water is showing that it is getting ready for a possibility of possible development. So let's pray that nothing happens, but the warmth is there, guys. The warmth is there. Alright, guys. Storm Prediction Center, 1 day convective outlook. We are having a possibility of severe weather, possibly a derecho. We don't know if it's actually going to be one, but it could be. in Kansas City, Wichita, Kansas, Chicago, Illinois, Indianapolis, St. Louis. So this area, Kansas City and Indianapolis, that whole red and yellow area, it could develop possible severe weather Wednesday, which is today. So we're just keeping an eye on it. Hopefully nothing happens, but it's there. All right, guys, that's what the weather is showing. Day 2 convective outlook tomorrow, Thursday. We have slight weather over Chicago area, parts of Pennsylvania. Not Chicago, Ohio, parts of Pennsylvania. A slight right here, that yellow. Over Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Akron, Ohio, and Parma, Ohio. So please be weather aware. There's a chance of slightly higher severe weather in that area, as well as marginal in the Indianapolis, Memphis, Tennessee, Oklahoma City, Nashville, Tennessee, and Tulsa, Oklahoma area, and then the rest just storms possible. All right, guys, let's go to the next. This right here is the satellite image for today. As you see, some clouds coming off of Africa, making a train to South America. No hurricanes or anything, but it's just, you see the clouds already getting into the pattern of coming from Africa and going into the South America Atlantic region. So it's starting to also show, as you see here off the coast of Africa, Saharan dust. So Saharan dust is going to also be in play. Let's take a look at the Saharan dust. As you see here, Saharan air layer forecast. You see it coming off of Africa, going over Port-au-Prince, parts of Tampa, so parts of South America, Mexico, parts of Florida, parts of the Caribbean are going to be getting Saharan dust. Please be aware that you need either a mask if you really need mask, or just know that you're going to have Saharan dust in the air, so that's going to be irritating. So please take care of yourselves. But this also means that the winds coming off of Africa are starting to move towards the Atlantic and towards the Gulf and towards the Caribbean, which means that it's starting to get into play for possible hurricane season to be active. So please make sure you have the things you need for hurricane season, the food, the things for your pets, everything you need, guys. Alright, let's go to the next thing. Alright, this is my community tab, Space River News on YouTube. There, that is for Friday, the slight marginal over Oklahoma, right there, as well as slight marginal over the East Coast from Virginia all the way to Vermont and Maine and New York. So please be weather aware that I was talking about Calvin heading out to the Pacific. Then I was talking about possible derecho. Possible. Don't know if it will or won't, but it's possible to have a Wednesday derecho out in the Midwest there. So let's also take a look for Thursday, the slight marginal over Ohio and parts of Pennsylvania. So be weather aware. Then possible dawn developing in the Atlantic. Also, we have solar flares, 3 strong solar flares that happened today, 43 minutes ago. Daily Events Worldwide posted it. I share his videos so you guys can see the news that he has. Go check it out. The link is in the community tab. Great channel. As well as a heat dome from Mr. Weatherman that says heat dome takes hold of the Caribbean and Central America. A massive heat dome is in place with record-breaking temperatures, and the water temperatures are soaring. These extremely warm water temperatures will eventually feed into possible storms. So please be weather aware in the Caribbean and in the South. There is a heat dome. Alright, guys. Let's see what else. Alright, that's it for the weather stuff on my community tab. Let's look at Twitter, see what else. I have been talking about the enhanced risk in Tornado Alley, possible derecho. So West Des Moines, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri. Please make sure you're safe. Stay weather aware, guys. Alright, and back to National Hurricanes. And alright, that's it. That's the end of the video. Just wanted to make sure I got through everything I needed to share. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there.